Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to this little corner of meditation. And today I would like to share some reflections about something I feel is now very important at these times in the evolution. It's about the Ekadesha Rudras. Well, to be honest, I was feeling in the last days, I felt actually sometimes in my life, in some time of my life, I felt suddenly that the energy is like a little bit not in a perfect harmony. Like something is missing, something is wrong. But this time I was feeling for a few days, I started checking my vibrations and I didn't find that there was any catch or any problem. In my life also there was not any problem to feel like that. So what is going on? Then I started meditating and I realized apart from our own body, our soul, our chakras and the life, we have the influence of all the people around us. It's the collective consciousness. It's like the other people. If someone, for example, is thinking ill of us, is thinking bad about us, that creates one energy because the spirit has that power to create. Anything we think or we project the energy through that, our attention, it starts being created. So I realize there is something going on there. It's like some movement in some people projecting that negative energy. And that creates that bubble around us that we feel a little bit not in harmony, not perfect. And then, just meditating in that, spontaneously, I started meditating in the Ekadesha Rudras. The Ekadesha Rudras are very important powers. Every one of us has that powers. And the powers are to purify. But these powers are not, they don't mean to be there just to destroy negativity. Because we don't like the negativity or we feel it's not right, and then we project that energies of that powers of Ekadesha Rudra towards the negativity so it gets destroyed. It's not for that. All the powers of Ekadesha Rudra are there inside, only can be mobilized, can be awakened through the power of pure compassion. Jesus Christ is the perfect example of that. Is the pure compassion ready to sacrifice anything, ourselves, for the growth, for the expansion of the energy of love, the energy of the divine, His Mother. To make that love grow, that beauty, that divinity grow, that compassion, together with the feeling that we are able to sacrifice anything ourselves. If we have to sacrifice our lives, our soul, anything for that. So together with the sacrifice and the compassion, that energy awakens the Ekadesha Rudras. Not to destroy the negativity, but to make grow the positivity, the divinity. And then that power, when the divinity grows, the darkness has to disappear. When the light grows, the darkness has to disappear. There is no other way. And at this moment of times, what I wanted to share today is, in this moment of times, they are being called like the last judgment, or we can call it the blossoming time, or we can call it Kali Yuga, the beginning of the jump to Satya Yuga, which is the era of truth. So in these times, in these very important times, these powers, when these powers are awakened, is when this change to the new yuga finally gets completed. And that change to the new yuga in Satya Yuga is only possible when all the darkness has been destroyed, or you can say removed from this plane of existence, this Mother Earth, this world. Till this moment of the evolution, we have been dealing, in a way, has been like a mixture of darkness and light. Inside ourselves, there was this darkness, these problems, and then this light of divinity, both of them working out together, in us and in the whole world. And this has been like, to understand, is like a shell of one egg. The shell of the egg is just protecting the egg to grow the life inside. Or it's like one seed. Inside the seed, the nut outside. The covering of the nut is very hard. It's to protect the seed. When the seed grows, finally it breaks and it just disappears. And then the tree comes out. So that negativity, that darkness around in the world, in ourselves, has been like that shell. So we grow in divinity. But at some point, the shell has to break. The negativity has to be destroyed, in a sense, or removed from this plane of existence. And only divinity will be there in the Satya Yuga. Only pure divinity. Only light. And for that, these powers of Ekadesha Rudra, just mobilized by the compassion, they are very important. When these powers awaken, is when the coming of Sri Kalki, that new spiritual being which brings that change, will happen. And now, at this point in the evolution, these are the most important times. This is the moment when it's going to be that change in the awareness, when the light has to grow. And now is for each of us to decide, are we going to be the light that is going to be awakened in this Satya Yuga, or are we going to be the darkness that is going to be removed from this plane of existence? Are we going to be the seed inside the nut, or the shell that is going to be destroyed? And the very critical point is how I started the video. I was feeling like some people around is having like negative attention, projecting negative energy on me at this moment. When we do that, we think ill of others. And it doesn't matter if we justify it, no, because this person is negative, because this, because that. We don't need to justify ourselves. We are choosing to be the darkness and to make others light come down, because we are creating that. We are thinking ill of others. When we do that, we are becoming the shell that is going to be destroyed, because in this new yuga is coming very fast. It's just a question of, we can say, just nothing. The time is just here almost. And this change is going to happen. It's like in the times when we have the harvest, we have to get the grain and remove whatever is not good. So now, are we going to be the compassion only, creating beauty in us and in others, especially in others? What are we projecting into others? Darkness, thinking ill of them. That is not going to work. We are running away from the divinity. This is the last judgment for real, and this is the critical point. Because when we think ill of others, we are becoming the greatest darkness in the world. Not only we are not growing in the light, we are pouring darkness into others. But the others are becoming light, and that light will burn us if we are that darkness. Through these powers of Ekadesha Rudra. Not because anyone wants to destroy the evil. No, the Ekadesha Rudras are moved by the compassion. It's the pure desire that the divinity expands, and in that desire, which is together with the sacrifice of oneself if needed, in that pure desire, because of the light will grow, the darkness will disappear. It's not to destroy the darkness. So, what are we going to be? We don't need to destroy others. There is no justification for that. How many people do we think ill of? 1, 2 persons, or maybe more? This is the root of the darkness in us, and it's growing fast. As the light grows, which is growing so much now, in so many souls, if we choose the darkness will grow to protect it, and the light of the Ekadesha Rudras, that pure desire, that pure compassion, will destroy that darkness. What are we going to be? We have to be honest. There is no more time. This is not the time for the seed to grow. This is the time for the seed to sprout and either be born like a tree, to give shelter and food to others, or be discarded like the nut that will melt in the Mother Earth and disappear.